Hidden away on the Essex coastline lies a magical world of craft and design, where forgotten treasures are given a new lease of life.
Ah, there we go.
We all have things that we love, but sometimes we just can't find a purpose for them. These unused items are cluttering up our homes, but they hold so many memories, we simply can't throw them away. It's not just a sewing machine, is it? It's what it represents.
It's part of our childhood.
It was something that I always wondered what could be done with it.
It reminds me of being really happy as a child.
Here in the workshop, our team of crafters will reimagine and transform these items.
No going back now, that's the first cut.
It's nice to be able to try and breathe new life into this old object.
This is always the scary part of any project, of taking a crowbar to it.
Transforming them into something new and beautiful.
Oh my God, it's incredible. That is absolutely amazing.
Our specialist team of crafters are at our creative haven and are ready to get cracking. We have masters of metal.
And that is absolutely bob on.
Textile gurus.
It makes it really nice and smooth, and it's wonderful to see.
And woodworking maestros.
Might come off. We shall see.
Nice. That's good. That is very good. That is good.
There's nothing our team can't transform. First into the workshop today is Sarah from Sunderland. She's brought in her old doll's house, which woodworker Daisy is going to transform.
Daisy, meet Sarah.
Hi.
And Sarah's granddad's doll's house. Isn't it just wonderful?
It's fantastic.
Sarah, I want you to tell me about your granddad.
So, my granddad was a policeman and he was on a motorbike most of the time when he was working, and he had a motorbike accident, so he ended up in hospital and he was there for 6 months. And while he was in there, he did a lot of woodwork, started doing bits with wood.
Right.
Obviously, he had a lot of time on his hands.
Yeah, of course.
And I think that's where the love of wood came from, and he did quite a lot from there.
Right, OK. So when you were a little girl, he decided that he was going to make you this.
Yeah.
Did you ask for a doll's house, or did he just rock up with one?
He just rocked up with it. Made me one and my cousin.
Did you love it straight away?
Yeah. Played with it for years. We've had all sorts in there, and it's had different bits of furniture over the years, and it's lost bits of furniture and gained new bits of furniture too.
What I love is how detailed it is inside. You've got carpet in there, you've got wallpaper. It's just such a labour of love, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It was actually my grandma that did the decorating inside. She
Right.
did the wallpapering and the little bits of carpet and parquet flooring in the kitchen.
But he was also really good at recycling, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. He used to take little bits of wood from wherever he would get them. The base of that was recycled as well.
This little base, when you lift it up, is actually an old for sale sign. I mean, this is just exquisite, even down to the things like looking at the little doorknob there that's out. It's a screw, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
You grew up, you obviously stopped playing with dolls' houses.
Yeah.
Although I'd quite like to play with it now. And then you had children of your own.
I had 5 of them, yeah.
Was it your hope that they would play with it?
It was, yeah. I always said if I had a little girl that I would kind of restore it, bring it back to life, and my 3 middle children were all born quite close together, so I had 3 under 3. And there really just wasn't time, just never got ready. They played with it a couple of times, but it was never brought back to life with all the new furniture and things in, and ever since then it's just sat in the loft.
And I know that you've inherited your granddad's love of DIY.
Yeah.
What sort of things can you do?
Oh, I've done all kinds. I've fitted kitchens. I've built a summer house, a 12-foot summer house from scratch.
What would you like to happen to it? Do you want to keep it in its entirety? Do you want it to be broken down? Do you want it to be practical?
As long as it's something that I can have around the house and it's a good memory. I know that it was my doll's house and it's not going to live in the loft for another 20 years.
I love the detail and the little door.
Did you notice the chimney?
I did, yeah.
It's
It opens
fabulous.
up,
If
doesn't
you
it?
open it up...
Which way does it open? Like that?
Yeah.
There you go, secret compartment.
Secret compartments.
What did you used to keep in there? Anything hide away from my brother when we were little. He didn't know about it. Went in the secret bin or...
I love it. So has it given you lots of ideas?
Well, I was thinking, so you said you're quite handy, you like a bit of DIY, and you've spoken about your granddad and his connection with woodwork and doing practical things. So I was thinking about transforming it into a toolbox for you to use.
Yeah.
So I'd be reinforcing it with some timber and then making sure the exterior, we've got all this brickwork, incorporating some of the little windows and that sort of thing. And then it would, got a kind of toolbox, it can have, the roof can be like the lid.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
Sounds really good, yeah.
I think that's a great idea for it. You know,
It is, yeah.
considering it's somebody that loved to make things and create things. For you then to have this turned into something that you can put things in that you can make and create sounds
Yeah,
perfect.
definitely.
Well done, Daisy. Top idea.
Now I've got my hands on this doll's house ready to turn it into a toolbox, I'm realising that it's actually a lot more sturdy than I expected. And I think it's going to be a little bit more of a challenge to get it apart. It's going to be involving mallets and probably have to saw some of it and chisel some of it. But it's quite exciting. We'll see what happens. I'm not quite sure how it's all jointed together, if it's just glue or if there are some little screws hidden under the wallpaper or something like that. What I might do is take a clamp and reverse the clamping mechanism so that I can pump away rather than clamping together and see if I can get in there that way. I want to be using these sides, so I've got to be really careful not to break anything too much. There we go, so that's come away nicely there without damaging it. But it's still holding fast in the middle. I can see there's a little nail in there, actually, if I look down that hole. Oh, there we go. It's surprising, considering the doll's house age and the fact that it was made out of all these recycled things, that actually it's really very sturdy. Oops. Okay, I think that's all of the screws.
With the doll's house in pieces, Daisy can work out which parts will become the new toolbox.
It's a bit of a tricky one working out where I'm going to make the cuts and the size of the toolbox. It needs to be practical inside. It also needs to be smaller than the original doll's house. And I need to incorporate the best parts and the parts of the doll's house which have survived the best.
There it is. I'm going old school, mate. Just getting some wrist action in. I'm going old school. Nice one.
Next to visit the workshop is Alisa from Kent, who's brought in an item that connects her to a beloved companion. Alisa's brought the saddle she used to ride her horse, Ohio.
Thank you so much for coming in. You're welcome. This is John and Jason. These are our remakers.
Hello, hello.
Talk to me about what you brought in.
OK, so I brought in my beloved horse's saddle. Got him when I was 10.
Right.
And fell in love instantly.
I was going to say, was it love at first sight?
Definitely. No matter how old he got, he had the most amazing energy and vibrant, even when he was at the end of his life. Yeah, and I think I do as well. I'm quite an energetic person, so yeah, we just hit it off
just bonded.
and just had a lot of fun together.
So when you were a teenager and you were going through all the stuff that teenage girls go through, did you find a sort of bond with him like that?
Yeah, definitely. He was just a constant in my life, and he has been forever. You know, your teenage years are hard, aren't they? So whenever I had a moment, I would just go down and just lie on his back in the stable and just cuddle him, and he would just be a very calming influence on me. And yeah.
Did you tell him all your secrets?
Yes, definitely, definitely. And he listened. I felt like he understood. I would tack him up and go riding. And I remember, this is really cheesy, but I used to pretend I was Maid Marian and Robin Hood and that I was being chased, and we'd just go galloping through the forest because we lived beside a forest, and we would just go, and it was so fun, and he seemed to have just as much fun as me, and yeah, we'd go on all sorts of adventures, get a packed lunch in my bag and just go for the day, and it was amazing. It was like something out of Enid Blyton. Every big milestone in my life, he's been a part of it. I got married, I rode him to the end of the aisle and got married. He was at my wedding. My daughter had her first ride on him.
After 26 glorious years together, Ohio passed away in 2021 at the grand old age of 34.
I actually spent the last night out in the field with him and slept out all night. He couldn't lie down, but he was just stood over me, and I was lying trying to sleep and sort of lie with him, and he just stood with me. But yeah, I think I didn't really talk. Well, I just told him I loved him. Just told him I loved him a lot.
God, the pair of us, these sorry boys. I know this sounds really stupid, but he sounds more like a human than a horse. Does that make sense?
No, it's really hard to explain to people that aren't horsey. He was my best friend, and he was. His like soul and energy was almost human-like. He was so intuitive with my emotions, and he was there through every big emotional part of my life. So he's been the solid rock through my life. So it is like I feel like I've lost a person.
Alisa has brought the saddle of her beloved horse Ohio into the workshop. Leatherworker Jason and steelworker John have ideas for her to choose from.
Jason, I'm going to come to you first.
Okay.
What are you thinking?
So I was kind of thinking maybe using these areas here, maybe do something like, I don't know, maybe something like a leather lampshade, maybe.
Right.
I think it might just work quite well. And again, I know you've got the emotional attachment to it, so it's something you'll see all the time. So that's my initial first thinking.
So you're
idea.
thinking some kind of lampshade,
yes,
right?
Yes.
OK. John?
I'm also very, very moved by your story, and I'm looking at that and I'm thinking it wants to be a seat.
Yeah.
So I'm proposing to make a bar stool out of it, and the front of the bar stool be a stirrup.
Ah.
So if you can
imagine.
imagine,
I don't know what you mean.
Imagine a stool like that.
yeah, do a great big stirrup where you can actually put both of your feet.
Oh, I see.
on.
Right, OK.
And we could probably use then, we could probably use the offcuts then, if you're going to trim it down. So yeah, we could use the offcuts as some kind of personal mementos, key rings or something as well. So maximise the uses as well.
Idea.
Yeah.
Good idea.
So a lampshade or a bar stool?
Amazing. We are actually going to do a big extension on the house and have a big open plan kitchen, and the dream is to have a big breakfast bar. So it would be amazing to have a stool, a bar stool. And that will always, Ohio will always be every day, in our everyday life. It'll be, yay!
And it'll be used on a daily basis, and the worst thing for anything is for it not to be used, because things that aren't used often just deteriorate.
Yeah. That's why I've wanted to bring it in, because it will just deteriorate and be locked away in a tack room, and if we can use it, and every day it will make us think of Ohio as well. Right. So that would be lovely.
Perfect.
It's going to be a challenge making this stool. First of all, I have to make a frame to support this rather odd shape inside. Every horse is different, so this saddle would have been made especially for Ohio. So if a stool is, let's just say, for argument's sake, 700 mil high, I think I'm going to have to measure from that point there, because that's where your bottom is actually going to be sitting. There's a lot of material on here, especially to house the tack that goes around the belly of the horse. And I don't need all of this, so I'm going to get it trimmed down. Jason.
John, how you doing?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah,
all right,
yeah.
good, good.
But I've got a lot more material than I need.
Sure.
So I could do with you trimming it down for me.
Yep.
On both sides, 2 flaps. And underneath there...
Tacking.
Take the tacking off as well. Don't
Okay.
need that either.
Wow. So, a bar stool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I could probably try and make something in keeping. The first thing comes to mind is because this is like, I think this is probably English bridal leather. It's beautiful.
It is very thick, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely. I think you make some really nice coasters with it, and maybe, I don't know, maybe some kind of cufflinks or some wristbands or something.
Okay.
Again, it's just using it to maximise rather than just, you know, going to waste.
Yeah, it is good.
I think it looked quite nice as well. So, I mean, the leather's quite nice. It probably just needs a bit of feeding just to bring it up, bring it alive a little bit. But I think that'd be great. But yeah, we can definitely cut it here. Probably on the other side as well.
Yeah, on both sides, yes, mate. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's got it. Proper. Yeah. Nice.
That's it.
That's got it. When you burnish that round for me, that's going to be absolutely perfect there. That's exactly how I wanted it.
Cool.
Lovely.
Excellent.
Thank you very much,
Cheers,
mate.
man. No problem.
Cheers. See you later.
See you later.
Let the fun commence.
Amanda from Harrow is next to visit the workshop. She's brought a dining table, a present from her mum nearly 15 years ago.
I moved into my home and I had this massive space, but I couldn't decide what I wanted.
Right.
So my mom came in, she already had a plan of what it was going to fit into that space, and then she bought this for me with the chairs.
OK, but let me get this straight. So your mum came round to your house and she looked at the space and in her head she thought, I know, Amanda needs a really massive dining table and 6
with
chairs.
some nice chairs, and we can all sit down when I come round and we can have a nice meal.
So she ordered it and it got delivered.
Delivered.
Did she tell you what it was?
No idea.
Did you have dinner
I
around
actually
it?
had dinner maybe once.
Once?
Once or twice, actually. No, not. Maybe
Okay.
twice.
So when this was delivered, your babies were how old?
1 and 2.
They're not quite 1 and 2 now, are they?
13 and 15.
13 and 15, so they've grown up.
Yeah.
I guess you still, do you use it now, or does it just
we just
sit there?
sitting there, and it was just taking up the space. It was
Right.
the room was being wasted, and they're big boys now, and they said, you know, we really want to change this room into maybe a games room or a cinema room.
Right.
But I just didn't know what to do. I didn't want to sell it because she'll get hurt, and I didn't want to. I think now
it's time to move on.
Time to move on. Yeah. But I'm not really moving on because I'm still going to have it.
Yeah.
So I'm always going to have that mummy's gift in the house, but it will be something different.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to find out.
Woodworker Rada is coming to pitch his idea to transform the table.
So Rada, Amanda has 2 teenage boys and they want to take over the room that this table used to be in. Have you got any ideas?
Yes, I do have an idea.
Let's hear the idea.
So what I wanted to do is I wanted to create it into a folding table tennis table. Now, when I was 15, me and my brothers were like really just wanting to play any games that we could. And I think by having a table tennis table, we played on my mum's tiny little table.
Yeah.
And it was really fun and engaging, but there just wasn't enough room. And this table is perfect for being able to expand and have all that space. But I'm very aware that having a table tennis table in the middle of the room isn't very functional.
Too big.
And so I wanted to be able to make it so that it all folds away and gets really compact. I think there's a really good opportunity to turn this into the games room.
Because that's what they want.
Exactly.
So I'm really in shock that you're coming up with that, because they want a games room, cinema room, games room. In fact, my younger one was like, oh, can we get a pool table in or something not as big as this? So this is amazing.
Nice, that's awesome. Yeah, that's
It's going to be a massive surprise.
Your mum gave you this as a surprise. Are you going to give them the table tennis table as a surprise?
Yes, I will do.
Nice.
And it's going to be a good surprise because I know they're going to love it.
Now, this is a project that I cannot wait to start because I'm going to finally get to fulfill my childhood dream of making a table tennis table. So what I'm going to be doing with Amanda's table is actually going to be removing this top because it's got such a thin layer of veneer on it, and then this lacquer is going to be really difficult to be able to sand through and get it as an even coat. So instead, I'm going to remove this top and make it out of a fresh piece of birch plywood that then I'm going to stain black, make it really sleek and really cool for the kids. And then using the same type of material that this leg is made from, I'm going to be making up all the grids. So it should have this really nice contrast between the beech and then this dark stained birch ply. It should look wicked.
Beech is a hardwood that's often used to make indoor household furniture, as it's cheaper than other woods and is very easy to work with.
John, can you give us a hand?
Hey, yeah, no problem.
Thanks.
Where are we going?
Flipping it upside down, straight onto the bench.
Lovely.
Ready for dissection.
What are you making with it?
Gonna turn it into a table tennis table.
Oh, brilliant.
I've always wanted one as a kid. So as soon as I saw the opportunity, I had to take it.
You did not have a table tennis table?
I had one, but we just used my mum's old dining table.
Yeah, we did as well.
It was really tiny.
Yeah, we did as well. Our dining table was probably as big as this.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You ever play?
Yeah, my dad was really good though.
Well,
so, yeah, he used to school us.
Well, I'll have to play you a game once this is done.
Game on.
Thanks, man.
You're welcome.
There's actually some secret plugs over here, and so I'm not entirely sure how this centre rail has been attached, but I need to get this off somehow. So that'll be a little bit interesting to take that apart. But let's start off with this leg. So, now that I've taken out that bolt, there we go. This is everything that I need. This is the underside of the table, and we're going to be using this water-based jet black wood stain and just sort of pour it on, keep it moving really fast, otherwise I'm going to have dry, sort of wet spots. It's going to look horrible if I'm not doing this properly. So I'm going to try and work really fast. So what I need to do is, whilst working it, I need to make sure that I'm basically constantly chasing the wet edge is what you want. Otherwise what happens is it starts to dry and it leaves you with like the equivalent of sort of a ring mark from a cup that from where your last pass was with the stain. So that's why I'm applying it relatively thick. I did a little tester with this stain earlier, and I can see that actually it dries almost a bit of a grey colour. So I can use that as an indication as to where all my dry spots are and just make sure that I don't see any of that whilst I work across this whole surface. Something that's really important when you're applying a stain or a paint is to go with the grain of the wood. Otherwise you, again, have the issues of inconsistencies and weird sort of marks, whereas this way, if I do have any dry spots, say, along this line, then at least it's going with the grain of the wood, and that way it will sort of be hidden a lot easier.
Across the workshop, Daisy is making the interior structure of the toolbox that used to be Sarah's doll's house.
I've finished cutting out all of my components for the toolbox. I've chosen tulip because it's nice and lightweight and quite nice to have solid wood on the inside. My next step is to create the base for the toolbox, and to do this I'm going to be using the original base of the doll's house, but rather than using the part you could see from inside the doll's house, I'm going to be using the other side. It's nice and clear and vibrant. I'm going to be cutting it so that you can see the sale sign nicely, and I'm going to be doing that on the cabinet saw for precision. Brilliant. I'm really happy with that. That'll be the base of the toolbox, and every time she looks in, she's going to see the sale sign and the reminder of her granddad and her doll's house that once was. I have created the main carcass of the toolbox, and my next step is to cut out the pieces from the original doll's house to clad the box with. I'm using a Japanese pull saw, which cuts on the pull rather than the push, which makes everything a lot easier because the weight is on your side.
The oldest Japanese saw discovered dates from around the 5th century. Some people believe the unusual pull stroke was to fit the needs of the Japanese woodworkers who would saw while sat down, holding the wood between their bare feet.
Sarah's granddad clearly went to a lot of effort to make these windows, to make the whole thing, but to go to the detail of making these windows with the lovely little mitres is pretty impressive. It would have taken him quite a bit of time.
The doll's house was really sentimental, and I didn't keep any other toys from my childhood. Just that was really special because he made it. He was a very special man. My grandma died when I was 11, so I would go to Blackpool with him every year from being 12-year-old. We used to go to World Championship dancing in the Winter Gardens together, and I was there just to keep him company, but because I used to dance when I was a child anyway, so yeah, I did that until I was 21-year-old, and then he said he got a bit too old to do it anymore. We spent a lot of time together, yeah.
I'm just working on some tray inserts to go inside the toolbox, and one of them is going to have a bricks on from the outside of the house. The other is going to have a base of the wallpaper from the inside of the house. And they're just going to fit in the top so she can saw all of her little bits and bobs.
Sarah is back at the workshop to see how Daisy has transformed her old doll's house.
Hey, Sarah, lovely to see you
Hello.
again.
You
How
too.
are you?
All right.
Good, good, good. You looking forward to this? Are you nervous?
Yeah. Excited.
Yes. So we've turned it from something that you got a lot of use out of as a little girl, but not as a grown-up.
No, I didn't.
So hopefully this will now give you lots of use. Now you are. Are you ready for this?
Yeah.
Ready, Daisy?
Ready.
3, 2, 1.
I love it. Thank you.
What do you think?
It's beautiful. It's just like a mini version of the house. It's just been made smaller.
Gorgeous, isn't
Yeah.
it? You know what I really love? She still kept this.
Kept the door. You loved the door, didn't you? The little door handle. Yeah. And you've got the wallpaper behind, the original wallpaper.
Do you want to show her inside? Come and have a look. Give a bit closer look.
Fabulous.
So you've got removable
So it's still got
compartments.
the kind of...
I'll take this one out so you can see it. And look, if you look down there.
Oh, the for sale sign. It's still there. I love it. Yeah, I do. It's beautiful. You've kept so many of the features that it had. Like, I don't know what I really visioned, but I thought it was maybe it's the window frames or something to do with the door, because we love the door. And that was a good feature. But even you've kept the feature of kind of the loft, the way we used to open the chimney, but now you open the roof. It's beautiful. I love it.
So glad you like it.
Thank you.
Will you be able to use it? What will you put in it?
Tools.
Oh, well done, Daisy. All that hard work has paid off because it is beautiful.
Definitely get used now.
Yeah.
Brilliant. That's what I want.
My grandma would have loved it. He used a for sale sign to make the base. So he liked recycling things, upcycling things, and I think he would have loved this to see it had been remade and I actually can use it again instead of it sitting in a loft for another 30 years.
Whoa! And there she goes.
In the the workshop, leatherworker Jason has trimmed off the flaps from Ohio's saddle.
We've got the offcuts from John's saddle, and now the idea is for me to look if we can make some kind of coasters potentially with it, but before I can do that, I need to kind of feed some of the leather. It's a little bit dry in spots, so I'm going to try and give it some of this nourishment. It's beeswax and lanolin, which is really good for leather. It just responds really well. And it's a bit like moisturising your skin. You know, we're out in the sun, skin and oils and things, all goes haywire, especially out in elements. We need to moisturise, you know, to look after our skin. It's the same thing. And I love doing this, especially with any dry leather. You can just see the difference. It's almost like night and day. I've had this for a while. This is size of a coaster, basically. And I've sharpened it. I've actually sharpened these with this die sharpener, which is a carbide tip. And all I do, I kind of just go around the sides just to kind of give it the extra sharpness. I'm going to try and find a nice spot to start cutting from. I'm going to cut it from here, which should be fine. Then I'm going to pull the lever around. It should press down and it should go through the leather quite well. And this should come out beautifully, but very consistent. I can just pop this out. I've got lovely kind of coaster-shaped leather. It's the consistency that we're looking for. Again, I can find the space on the leather. Again, we've nourished this, we've treated this, it comes up really, really nicely. Same thing again, same result. It's fantastic.
Over on his side of the workshop, Rada's new table tennis table is shaping up nicely.
Right, so I'm really happy with how this is going so far. Obviously, there's a few imperfections in the tabletop, but nothing that can't be fixed a little bit later on. Right. I've measured this probably twice just to make sure. I mean, it's really important that, you know, one side isn't this big and one side isn't that big. So I'm sure that the boys are going to argue over that and which side is preferable to them. So, yeah, so I've measured it a couple of times, made sure that that is exactly perfect, lined up the rail, and we're good to go.
To keep his promise to Amanda to create a fold-away piece, Rada needs to slice his perfect table in two.
And I could hear that pop, which means, there we go, we have two perfect halves. Okay, that is perfect. That is looking really clean. And yeah, very happy with that.
Making the legs fold away is more complicated, but Rada has come up with a plan.
Because this whole table tennis table is going to be folding away, the best way to be able to accomplish that and put in a center brace that will hold this whole table together is using this particular joint. And we all know a classic dovetail that basically goes into the wood and stops it being able to be pulled away. In this case, what it is it's a joint that slots in, will be able to be slid down and make this whole table completely rigid, joining the left and right of the tables together.
This joint has been used in the building of Japanese houses for centuries.
Something that's really beautiful about Japanese joinery is that often they were made without power tools, and this was made thousands and thousands of years ago, and it's done on timber framing. So for the framings of houses, they'll just use joints that are just made out of wood. There's no metal work, there's no glue, it's just solid pieces of wood that join together. They all lock together with pins and sliding sections, and that way they actually hold within earthquakes. They've got really long longevity, and it's a really awesome piece of craftsmanship to be able to accomplish a Japanese joinery. I love doing them, they're so much fun, but they take a really long time. So right now I'm at the stage where I'm ready to cut the female part of this joint. Now what I'm going to be doing to cut those angles in for the dovetail is using a dovetail cutter on the end of a router. So this will go in and I'll be able to pull that along and actually cut exactly the same profile as this, just using a little fence just to guide it along. Okay, that should be it done. Now if I take this, slot it in, pull it down, that is what I'm talking about. Okay, that is not bad. It'll just slot back out like that. That is amazing. I'm super happy with that. Brilliant. That is brilliant.
Sadly, Amanda is unwell and can't join us to see Radha's transformation of her dining table. So I'm going to take a look at her new table tennis table before we ship it off to her.
Look at that. That is so cool. This is every kid's dream, isn't it?
I would have loved one of these as a kid.
Me too. But what I loved about this table was that Amanda didn't like it. Her mum just said, you need a dining table, so I'm going to buy you the biggest, most cumbersome table I can find, and you will use it.
Right.
But she didn't, did she? She only used it about 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, exactly. And that was part of this design challenge is she bought the table for her and put it in the room, and it took up an entire room that then she couldn't use again. So the real massive challenge was getting it so it all folds away.
So it folds down.
And goes really compact, actually.
Because you took the top off, you've put wheels on the bottom so it can be moved around.
Yeah.
And then it will all just fold down, and it's going into her boys' room, isn't it? Like, they've now got this kind of den where they can just hang out with all their friends. They're going to love it, aren't they?
I really hope so.
I think we should get it packed up and taken off to them straight away.
Let's do it.
Daisy's on hand to help Radha pack the table away. With a simple clip to split it into 2 halves and the clever Japanese joint to remove the centre bar, it's as easy as that.
You've done an amazing job, Radha. The boys love it. And it's so flexible and it's a real space saver. We can fold it away, we can use it inside, and we can use it outside. Thank you.
Back in the workshop, John is working out how to adapt Alisa's saddle into a stool for her kitchen.
I've got to start building a spine, something to build off. So my first stage is I've got to put some metal in here somehow. So straight down the middle, I'm going to bend a piece of material and put it in there and then start to build off it. Almost like a skeleton. The main thing is patience, really.
The machine pushes the steel between rollers, bending it into shape.
I don't try to roll it all in one go because it will start skidding and slipping and I'll probably over-roll it. And that is a really nice fit. I'm very happy with that. And then I'm going to support that bridge with another piece of material going through the middle. That there is exactly what I'm looking for. I can drill 2 holes, 1 in each side, and put a bridge up there to support, and then I can start building up there, probably 1 at the back and then another 1 at the front, and I think I'm good to start levelling it up then. I've got some nice support. Machine on. That's great. Now, another piece of material across there, 1 at the front, and then I'm well on my way.
John's bar stool, made from the body of Ohio's saddle, is coming on apace.
I'm ready to assemble the last leg of my saddle stool. I've made a 3-dimensional template. Each leg has 2 angles, which are equal. So this fixture helps me to get each leg the same. So I draw the template up, put it on the outside, and push the leg against it, and then I can just put a tack in there, and then all these legs are going to be equal. I'm really happy with that.
As John finishes the transformation, Alisa returns to the workshop to see the result.
Alisa, how are you?
Very excited and very nervous.
You remember John and Jason?
Hi, hello, hello. I do.
So before we do the reveal, talk to me about what you brought in.
OK, so I brought in my beloved horse's saddle, who I had for 26 years, and he passed away last year. I think that's why I'm so nervous, because it means actually quite a lot.
Of course, and I 100% get that. And, you know, sometimes some of the items that come into the Saved and Remade workshop are items that people have had for years and have sentimental value, but this seems to be so much more than that. So it was an interesting one, wasn't it, guys? Because we had to get it right.
I did put a lot of thought into it, and we both did before we cut anything. We were both together like a should we cut it now?
I'm sorry, I feel bad, but there's no pressure on you.
OK.
So yes, it was a lot of pressure to get it right, and to be honest with you, I think we've got it right.
So 3, 2, 1, go.
Yay! Oh, and you've put this out. I was wondering how you were going to do the stirrup at the front. Oh, I love it. Wow! So that's the stirrup. Yeah, that's where the stirrup's shot.
That's right.
So that's the underlayer.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I'm really, really happy. And that's a little place to put.
Have you seen the motif on the front?
And that's Ohio. Oh, wow, that actually looks like him.
It is.
Oh, I love it. We're getting a new kitchen and we're going to have a breakfast bar. So the whole time in my mind, it will be at the breakfast bar, main place, in the big open plan kitchen diner. Perfect. So it is perfect.
We've also managed to create a couple of other little things. Jason?
Yes, so we knew you could have this kitchen bar made, so with the leather offcuts, we made some coasters.
Amazing! Oh my gosh.
We've actually embossed it as well, so you've got.
Oh, you've done each individual one?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
And it doesn't stop there, because more offcuts. So we did just 2 really nice key rings as well.
Oh, beautiful! Oh, stunning.
So you'll have them all the time. Aren't they gorgeous?
Oh, they're. I'm trying to think where I'd put them.
Well, keys. Got any keys you can put them in?
But they're too precious to use.
You don't want to lose them.
Yeah, no, they need to go somewhere special. Oh, I love it. I'm really, really chuffed. I'm over chuffed, more than chuffed. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thanks, guys. It's a year on Wednesday that he passed away, so it's lovely for me to now get this and have it in my home, and I can see it every day and I can use it, and he's still with us. And the coasters as well, they'll be used every day, and yeah, I'm extremely happy.